Sherman and Tingle in the morning.
It's time to Ask Blanche.
Yeah, this is where Blanche Horowitz from our collections department swings in and answers your questions you've sent in with Ask Blanche. And you have a question right here, Blanche?
I do. It says, Dear Blanche, are you a fan of MMA by chance? Eddie in Wonder Lake. Am I a fan of MMA? Of course I am. I've been a member since I first saw them at Rosemont Horizon in '87. I remember it was like yesterday. Tommy Lee just wrapped up a drum solo, then some contraption attached to his ankles and flew him above the crowd, and then they lowered him down like one of those claw machines at Dave & Buster's, and he ripped my top off.
No, that's not MMA. Mixed martial arts. That's MMA. That's not... I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the Motley Mammary Alliance.
No,
It's a bunch of us who've all been topless at a Motley Crue show.
No.
Oh.
Different mixed
They're so
martial...
confusing. There's so many MMAs, like the Mature Massage Anonymous, from men who like getting massages from older women. There's also Midway Mounters Association for people who like to get frisky at Midway.
No, I don't think that's what they were writing in about mixed martial arts. I think that's what they were talking about.
MMA, also, if you have a difficult time switching positions while making romance, that's called MMA, the Mick Mars agility syndrome that you have.
Mick Mars agility?
Yeah. Anyways, I'm not familiar with the MMA you speak of, but I do have an interesting story about fighting if you'd like to hear it.
Sure.
In the early 70s, I was a reporter working for the Tribune, and my assignment was to do a story about a highly secret and extremely violent martial arts competition. So they flew me to Hong Kong to try to gain access to the underground world of fighting. Now, while I was there, I remember I met this attractive man who could hardly speak English. So basically what I had to do is I had to sleep with him to get the big scoop.
What?
Anyways, I'll never forget him. He wore slacks and a tank top, and he danced like an a-hole. His name was Frank Dux. I'll never forget him.
Wait a minute, that's Frank Dukes.
And he fought this big Asian. They called him Lee, which is Chinese for donkey.
It was, that's the movie Bloodsport. I know exactly what you... Wait a minute, how could you do that?
What do you mean a movie?
That was a movie with Jean-Claude Van Damme.
You gotta be kidding me.
You remember?
You are next.
There was John Lee right there.
Oh my goodness gracious. You know what? I think you might be talking to a different person, because my Frank Dux used to always do the splits in front of me all the time.
It's Dukes. Frank Dukes.
No, it was Dux. They must have changed his name for the movie.
D-U-X.
You gotta be kidding me. I remember I was talking to a Hollywood producer on an airplane making small talk as we landed, and I told him that story, and he made it to a movie?
Yes.
You gotta be kidding me. That's the third time that's happened now.
The third time
One
that's
time
happened?
I got drunk at an airport bar, and there was this Hollywood producer at the airport, and I met him, and I told him about a time my son's friend threw me off a train. Next thing I know, there's a movie called Throw Mama from the Train.
That was a true story, too? I thought that was just a comedic movie
No,
with
that was
Danny
a true
DeVito.
story. And then, the third time during COVID, we got bored at the retirement home and did something very unusual. Next thing I know, there was a movie about it. You might have seen it. It's called The Human Centipede.
Oh, God. All right.
Swear to God.
They took
They're
that
taking
movie.
my stories.
They took all... Wow.
Where's my residual checks?
You've made no money on any of this stuff. Well, thank you very much, Blanche.
You're welcome. Frank Dux, by the way.
It's Dukes.
No, it was Dux.
Frank's Dukes.
It was a fantastic lover.
The Sherman and Tingle Show. Mornings on 97.1 FM The Drive, Chicago's classic rock.